Howdy folks, today we are going to reveal the Klingon Blind Booster for the Star Trek Attack Wing Collective OP event. So stay tuned and I will show you what's in this pack and how I built my 30-point ship. Okay, so let's start with the ship, which is a 24-point ship for the named version, 22 for the unnamed version. The named version has an ability that's okay, I would say, but I do think that the unnamed version I generally take the unnamed version of most Klingon ships anyways, and I can talk about that a little bit when I talk about my build. The other thing that I really like about the ship is it does have a rear firing arc, and it absolutely has the Klingon movement dial, and for a Klingon class, that's what you would expect. It's fantastic for maneuvering. I'm just such a fan of the Klingon maneuvering dial. I think it is a general's treat to be able to have a fleet that can really, really move. When we talk about captains, we have an unnamed captain, of course, 0 points at command skill 1, which is against Borg, I feel like you gotta shoot first. And you have the named captain, which is a command skill 7, 4-point captain. So he does have an elite talent as well, and his ability is okay. I mean, his ability is great if you happen to be fighting that Fed player who takes a lot of crew or whatever. It's great for that, but I wouldn't necessarily say that his ability is what makes this card the one you want. When you're pulling a ship out of this box, you're kind of taking him because he's command skill 7, and you get to go first in a lot of situations. That's very, very useful, especially in a world full of Borg. There is a crewman, and I like the crewman ability, I do, but I think what's awesome about the crewman is that the picture on this card is freaking awesome. Like, I don't know how many other cards in the Star Trek Attack Wing universe have a dead character on them. I think it's this one, and it's red shirt. There are other awesome upgrades in this pack. There is a standard like torpedo, which is like 4-point torpedo card, and it's okay. I mean, with the rear firing arc of the ship, it makes sense, but I wouldn't necessarily take it on a Klingon ship because you're already shooting 4. If you need that extra die, there are other ways to kind of just to get it or get better usefulness out of the 4 points on the ship. Like, the extra die doesn't necessarily make it that much better. It's not worth 4 more points to get 1 more attack die, in my opinion, for a Klingon ship. The elite talent in this pack is a card called Qapla, which I'm just so excited about. I've been waiting for this card because it's called Qapla! And I think that as a card itself, I love the fact that it's a 2-point discard. It's not a 5-point discard. So I like that shift. That trend is still coming. I'm such a huge fan of that. I recognize that 5-point discards a card has to be freaking awesome. And this card isn't freaking awesome to really be worth 5 points to discard. But for 2 points, yeah, you know what? It could be very useful. So I like that. And finally, the tech slot card in this pack is the one that is worth talking about. I think that this card is the one that you want to take against the meta right now, the current meta that is very, very Borg heavy. This is the one that you want because, well, let's face it, when you're rolling the evade dice on a cloaked ship, the likelihood that what actually ends up hitting your ship is a critical attack is pretty high. And so having this particular card to nullify those effects and to actually repair a hull, that's super awesome. I'm a really huge fan of it. And if I was like a Klingon player, which I happen to be, I'd say that this is the card that you would want this entire booster for. Like, the other stuff is okay, but this is the card that actually adds something very, very important to the Klingons for this current Borg heavy meta. Okay, so let's actually talk about the 30-point build out of this box, because ultimately you do have to build a ship out of this box if you're going to be playing with it, something to add into your list. And I would probably take these cards to build my 30-point list. I would take the named captain, of course. I would take that tech upgrade, which is super freaking awesome, and I would take the unnamed ship. And I usually take unnamed ships when I play Klingons to begin with, and this is kind of no exception, because when I've got the 2 points, if I have to really look at 2 points, I'm not going to use the extra shield, and there aren't that many red maneuvers that I would really need to use to get out of type spot. I would much rather be in a position to sensor echo with a Klingon ship than to take another red maneuver again. So let me know in the comments below what you think of this box and what you think of my 30-point build. Would you build it differently? I feel like the Tritium Intermix is like the right way to go, but maybe you disagree and I should be taking the named version with Qapla. I don't know. Let me know. And don't forget to hit the like button to like this video. It helps me out a lot. And subscribe to my channel if you want to see more of this stuff. I continually make Star Trek Attack Wing videos because I love this game. So if you love this game too, subscribe and find out more. Until next time, I will see you soon.